Now I'm going to talk about the games that have already been added to the PS Plus Extra and Deluxe catalog. All of them are already available for download. But before I start, I'll ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel to know more about PlayStation and to be the first to see a video with a selection of games that will leave extra and giveaway in PS Plus Essential. The first new game of the catalog will be Resident Evil 3. Once again, one game from my March prediction has made it into the subscription. It's a survival horror that puts even more emphasis on action than the second installment. The main character Jill Valentine is trying to get out of the zombie-infested town of Raccoon City, but she is being chased by a giant mutant nemesis, whose goal is to kill all the members of the SCRS squad. The game is small and many people criticize it for that. But for me personally it's more of a plus than a minus. After all, you can spend 1 or 2 evenings with pleasure, and not play for a month and constantly wondering when this stuffiness will end. NBA 2K24 Kobe Bryant Edition will also be added to the catalog. Other than the fact that it's a basketball simulator, I don't have much to say about the game. It is released every year, so that gamers can play with fresh lineups, but the essence of the game does not change much, just like its graphics and physics. The next game that will be added to Extra's subscription is called LEGO DC Supervillains. It's a third-person action game, where the whole world consists of LEGO parts, focused on the villains of the DC universe. In the story, the Justice League has disappeared, leaving the defense of Earth to their counterparts from a parallel universe, the Crime Syndicate, a new group of wannabe superheroes. The player creates his own supervillain from LEGO parts and a variety of accessories, and chooses his voice, manner of movement, starting abilities, and colors for powerful energy attacks and weapons. He then joins the Joker, Harley Quinn, the Enigma, Scarecrow, and other anti-heroes to confront the Syndicate. Over the course of the story campaign, the player will visit various and easily recognizable locations from the comics, like Arkham Asylum, the streets of Smallville and the planet Apocalypse. The fourth new subscription game is Marvel's Midnight Suns. It is a turn-based tactical Marvel superhero card game developed by the creators of XCOM 2. Players will take on the role of the Hunter. This is the first fully customizable original hero in the Marvel universe who will be able to customize his appearance. The authors offer a deeply customizable map-based combat system. To gain the upper hand in battle, you'll need to utilize the unique abilities of Marvel's many heroes and combine them intelligently with each other. 5 in March, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will join the PS Plus Extra catalog. It's an action RPG set in the Dragon Ball Z universe, where the player will take on the role of a monkey-tailed boy named Son Goku, who possesses a wide range of superpowers, and follow the original story of his development. Perhaps Dragon Ball Z is not the most famous series among non-fans of anime, but if you like bike maps, you can try it. The next game that was added to the subscription is Blood Bowl 3. Sports simulators are not always boring and monotonous. Sometimes projects are created that turn them into something more fun and challenging. For example, the Blood Bowl series blended American soccer with Warhammer Fantasy, making the game a brutal turn-based battle between 12 races, including Black Orcs, Imperial Nobles, the Old World Alliance, and Chaos Renegades. Also in March, Mystic Pillars, Remastered and Super Neptunia RPG will be added to the catalog. Well, and owners of the subscription Deluxe and Premium will also be able to play more action-adventure Jak and Daxter The Lost Frontier, sports simulator snowboarding Cool Borders, action RPG God's Eater Burst and a trilogy of quests Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy. You can try all of these games now, on March 19th. In case you missed the video of the games that will be leaving the extras, I'll tell you about them now. The first game leaving the subscription in March is called Ghostwire Tokyo. Visually, Ghostwire Tokyo is simply stunning to the eye with its visuals. The game locations are made with great detail and very similar to real ones. The art style here is just on top of its game. Monsters, or rather, as they are called strangers here, also cause great interest and a sense of anxiety. After a meeting with a new enemy, you are tempted to look in the magazine and learn more about who it is. The plot, by the way, is also intriguing. But everything about the game aspects, like gameplay, combat, story quests, side quests, all this is done to put it mildly not very well. If you skip all the side activities in the city, of which there are a lot, and just follow the story, doing only what is necessary, then in general Ghostwire Tokyo will give only pleasure. But you should turn into an alley and ask about side quests, then the patience to pass the game to the end may not be enough. Also leaving the subscription is Sid Meier's Civilization 6. It is a 4X strategy game, where the player will have to manage and develop civilization in the period from the ancient world to modern times. You will start with a small tribe and then gradually expand it by creating new settlements, conquering others or organizing alliances with them to eventually conquer the entire planet. Strategy is a very rare guest in subscription and on consoles in general, so it's worth a try, and such a masterpiece as Civilization, even more so. On March 19th, Code Vein will leave the subscription, is an adventure role-playing game, which tells about a dark world, where some people have turned into vampires. The player controls one of these vampires that has supernatural abilities. Players are waiting for a dark adventure with a partner under the control of AI with a combat system in the style of Souls game, but in addition to using cold weapons, the hero, of course, will be able to drink the blood of his enemies. Outer Wilds will be leaving the PS Plus Extra catalog in March. It's an action-adventure with a first-person view, where the player controls an explorer astronaut who is stationed on one of several planets in a star system called Camelec. After obtaining the launch codes for the rocket, the character can leave Camelec and move freely between it and other planets. However, 22 minutes after the start of the game, the star around which they orbit explodes, turning into a supernova and destroying the planets, and the player is returned to the beginning, 22 minutes before the explosion. To solve this mystery, the player will have to explore the open world. The fifth game to leave the subscription was Kaya. In this colorful adventure game, we go to tropical islands, controlling a girl named Kaya, who needs to save her father from a cruel tyrant and ruler of a tropical archipelago. To explore the world besides her feet, Kaya can use trees as a catapult and a boat to overcome water obstacles. The main feature of the game is the main character's ability to move her soul into animate and inanimate objects to use them as weapons or to move around. For example, you can turn into a bird and soar high in the sky, or into a cow to just pile up a big pile. Also leaving the subscription in March will be the adventure game Neo: The World Ends With You and the science fiction adventure game Haven. If any of all of these games appeal to you, get them on your console and play them sooner rather than later. Access to them will close on March 19th.